Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make my delicious Natchitoches meat pies from scratch. Now, this handheld pie is the official meat pie of the state of Louisiana. It consists of a well-seasoned ground beef and pork filling inside a flaky, deep-fried pastry crust. This appetizer, it makes about 8 medium-sized meat pies, flavorful, and absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what you'll need to make your homemade Natchitoches meat pies. Let's get started with our ingredients. You're going to need 1 pound of ground beef, 9 ounces in weight. This is a little bit more than a half a pound of Boston butt pork roast, and I have that chopped up. You will also need some all-purpose flour, salted butter, bacon fat. You can also use lard as well, vegetable or canola oil, and for your seasonings you'll need 1 yellow onion, green bell pepper, and some garlic. And for your additional seasonings you'll need some salt, black pepper, Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Now if you don't have this, you can use the Zatarain's Creole seasoning or the Slap Mama Cajun seasoning. You will also need some Chef Paul Prudhomme's Poetry Magic, granulated onion, granulated garlic, and some cayenne pepper. And for your tools, you will need a food processor, a 6-inch round biscuit cutter. Now, as you can see, I have a makeshift top of a container here that I'm going to use, so I'm going to use that. You will also need a mesh strainer, a rolling pin, a cooling rack with an 11 by 17 inch baking pan underneath it, and to fry your meat pies, you'll need a 4-quart pot, and if you're using a 4-quart pot, you will also need a thermometer to monitor the temperature of the oil, and you can also use a deep fryer as well. Okay, and there we have it. All right, let's get straight to it. We're going to get started with chopping half of a yellow onion. Make sure you chop the onion up really fine. Next, you're going to rinse 1 bell pepper off with cold water. Make sure you remove the core out of the center of your bell pepper before you chop it. Chop half of a green bell pepper. Here I have 1 clove of garlic. I've cut it in half. Take a garlic press and press the garlic. And there we go. Alright, let's get started making our pastry crust. So in a large food processor, add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Here I have 5 tablespoons of salted butter cold and 3 tablespoons of bacon fat. You can also use lard as well. You're going to add that in there. And a half a teaspoon of salt. Pulse this 15 times or until the butter and the bacon fat or lard are cut into the flour. And there we go. I transferred my flour mixture into this medium-sized bowl. Next, we're going to add 8 tablespoons of cold water. Stir all your ingredients together with a sturdy spoon until the mixture starts to come together. Take your hands and form the mixture into a dough. Now, if you have any trouble with the mixture coming together, you can add 1 more additional tablespoon of cold water. Alright, that looks good. Now you're going to place this into your refrigerator until we're ready to roll it out. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with cooking our chopped up pork roast. So in this large saucepan, add 1 tablespoon of bacon fat or lard into the saucepan. Spread the fat around the saucepan and let it melt. Add your 9 ounces in weight of the chopped up Boston butt pork roast right on in there. Now I'm going to take a wooden spatula and give this a quick stir. Make sure that the roast has more meat on it than fat, okay? Add 2 tablespoons of water right on in there and a very light sprinkle of salt. Give this a quick stir. Cover your saucepan with a lid. Let this saute for about 6 to 7 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 6 to 7 minutes now, and our pork roast should be almost literally fully cooked here. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off Let this cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, here we have a mesh strainer with a shallow bowl underneath it. We're going to take our cooked chopped pork roast and we're going to add that into the mesh strainer. And from there we're going to let this cool completely. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started with cooking our ground beef. So in a large saucepan, I let it get hot for about 1 to 2 minutes. Add your 1 pound of ground beef right on in there. Take a wooden spatula and give this a quick stir. Now while the ground beef is cooking, you want to take that wooden spatula and break down some of those larger chunks of ground beef. Cover your saucepan with a lid. Let this saute for about 6 to 8 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 6 to 8 minutes now, and that ground beef is thoroughly cooked. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off. Let the ground beef cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. Here I have a mesh strainer with a shallow bowl underneath it. Add your cooked ground beef into the mesh strainer. Now I'm going to lift the mesh strainer up, and as you can see there's the fat from the pork roast and the ground beef. So we're going to use a little bit of this to add into the filling to saute our seasonings with. Alright, let's get started with pureeing our pork roast and our ground beef. So in the large food processor, we're going to first add our cooked chopped up pork roast right on in there. We're going to blend this for 15 to 20 seconds. Add your cooked ground beef right on in there. Pulse this 10 times. And this is how it looks when it's done. Preheat your fire to medium heat. Alright, let's get started making our ground beef and pork filling. So in a large saucepan, I let it get hot for about 1 to 2 minutes. Add 1 tablespoon of your pan drippings from your ground beef and your pork roast in there, and 1 tablespoon of salted butter. Spread the fat around your saucepan and let it melt. Add 2/3 cup of chopped yellow onion and 2/3 cup of chopped green bell pepper. Stir all your ingredients together. Let this saute for 6 minutes, stirring occasionally. Alright, it's been about 6 minutes now. Add your 1 clove of pressed garlic right on in there. Add your cooked ground beef and pork right on in there. Stir all your ingredients together. Now let's add some seasoning. Add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, a 1/2 teaspoon of Chef Paul's Portrait Magic, 1/4 teaspoon of granulated onion, 1/4 teaspoon of granulated garlic, and 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Stir all your ingredients together. Let this saute for 2 minutes. Add 1 tablespoon of salted butter right on in there and give this a quick stir. Add 3 tablespoons of water and 1 heaping tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Stir all your ingredients together. Now the water is going to combine with all the flavors from the seasonings and the meat, and it's also going to keep the filling moist, while the flour is going to be used as a binding agent to bring the filling together. Now you're going to go ahead and turn your fire off, and from there our seasoned ground beef and pork filling is done. Let this cool completely. Alright, let's get started with rolling and cutting the dough. So we're going to do this in stages. Lightly flour the surface of your table. Add the dough on top of the table. Take your hands and press the dough down, forming a flat rectangle. Sprinkle some more flour on top of the dough. Take your rolling pin and roll the dough out into a large, thin rectangle. Now the rectangle should have a length of about 27 inches long by 9 inches wide. Now it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. And there we go. Next I'm going to take my homemade makeshift pie cutter, which is 6 inches in diameter, of course. I'm going to take that and I'm just going to cut into the dough. So each piece of dough is going to be 6 inches in diameter. So we're going to cut out 4. Okay, from there you're going to take your hands and you're going to remove the excess dough. Now you're going to take the leftover dough and you're going to set that on the side. Take your cut out pieces of dough and you're going to place them onto a serving plate and set that on the side. Alright, here I have my leftover dough. Now to bring the dough together, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of water to that. And we're going to take our hands and we're just going to mix the dough together. This is going to help bring the dough together. And there we go, our dough has been formed. Lightly flour the surface of your table once again. Add your dough on top of the table. Take your hands and press the dough down, forming a flat oval-like shape. Okay, next you're going to take your rolling pin and you're going to roll this out into a long oval-like shape. The dough is going to be shorter this time. It should be 18 inches long by 8 inches wide. Okay, next I'm going to take my makeshift dough cutter. This is about 6 inches in diameter. And from there, we're going to cut the dough out. So this time you should get about 3 of them total. Remove the excess dough from around the dough that has been cut and set that on the side because we're going to roll this out one last time. And from there, you're going to take the dough that has been cut out and you're going to place that onto the serving dish with the rest of the dough that has been cut. Alright, here we have our leftover dough. Once again, we're going to take some water, about a half a teaspoon, and we're just going to add that onto the dough. I already have it on my hands. Mix the dough together with my hands the best way I can. Alright, that looks good. Lightly flour the surface of your table. Once again, add the dough on top of the table. Press the dough down with your hands, forming a flat circle. Take your rolling pin and roll the dough out into a thin, flat circle. Next, I'm going to take my makeshift dough cutter and cut out the dough. From there, you're going to remove the excess. And there we go. We cut out all the pieces of dough. And from there, we're finished cutting the dough. Now, once done, you should have 8 pieces of cut out dough all together. Alright, let's get started with assembling our pies. So here we have our flattened cut out dough right here. You're going to take your hands and you're just going to gently press the dough down a little bit. And remember, the dough should have a diameter of 6 inches. Okay, next you're going to take 1.5 ounces in weight of your ground beef and pork filling, and you're going to add that onto one side of the cut dough. Careful not to add any of the filling onto the edge of the dough. And from there, you can take your fingers and bring the filling together, just as you see here. Alright, now we're going to create a seal for the dough. So here I have a measuring cup with a little water in it. Now you're going to take your finger and just going to dip it into the water. And from there, you're going to take the tip of your finger with the water on it and you're going to glide it onto the edge of the pastry dough on the side where the filling is. And as you glide your finger across the edge of the dough with the water on it, it's going to create this paste-like consistency. And that's exactly what we're looking for. The paste should be like a whitish color, as you see here. Now you're going to take the dough that's on the opposite side of the filling and you're going to fold that over the filling, reaching the opposite side of the edge of the pastry dough. Okay, next you're going to take your fingers and you're just going to press the edge of the dough down to seal. Okay, here I have a fork. I'm going to take the edge of the fork and I'm going to make some indentation marks onto the edge of the pastry dough. And from there, our pies have been assembled. Take your assembled pies and you're going to place them onto a serving dish. So that way, they are ready to be fried. Preheat your fire to medium heat. If you're using a deep fryer, preheat it to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, let's get started with heating our oil. So in this medium-sized 4-quart pot, I've added 48 fluid ounces of vegetable or canola oil in there. And I also want to let y'all know that the amount of oil that you might need for the pot and the deep fryer may differ. So you might need more oil for the deep fryer. Let the oil get hot until it reaches a temperature of 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, here I have a cooling rack with an 11 by 17 inch baking pan underneath it. You want to make sure that you have this ready before you begin frying your pies. Okay, next you're going to take your assembled pies and add them into the hot oil. Now if you're using the medium-sized pot, you can only fry 2 at a time. If you're using a deep fryer, you may be able to fry more. Let these fry for about 5 to 7 minutes or until the pies are a nice golden brown. Alright, it's been about 5 to 7 minutes now, and as you can see, our pies are a nice golden brown. Should be done. So next we're going to take a mesh straining spoon and we're going to remove the pies from out of the hot oil. Now we're going to hold it for a couple of seconds to allow some of the oil to drain back into the pot. And from there, you're going to take your fried pies and you're going to place them onto a cooling rack with an 11 by 17-inch baking pan underneath it. Let these cool for about 5 to 10 minutes, and after that, the pies are ready to be served. Here is the final presentation. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Natchitoches meat pies made from scratch by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this one. Go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on X, formerly Twitter, under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. There it goes. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is perfect. It's really, really good. That ground beef and pork feeling moist and well seasoned, and then on the outside that crust is nice and flaky. I mean, y'all look at that. Look at that. Nice and flaky. Wonderful flavor, and got that combination from that butter and that bacon fat. Ooh, boy, when I tell you this is delicious, it is good. Yes. Mm, mm, mm. I'm telling y'all, try the recipe. On point. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.